NYC has world-class Michelin restaurants, and because their food is the best in the world, it's also the most expensive. Most people could never afford to eat a Michelin-listed meal, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. I found a way to eat Michelin-quality food on a budget, and we'll show you a handful of places that you won't believe exist. But there's a twist. We're going to rate one dish at each restaurant on how surprising and unique it was, and at the end of the video, we'll average out the scores and crown a winner. First thing you need to know is how to find them. On the Michelin Guide website, search your city, hit distinction to see the options. You probably know about the 1, 2, and 3 stars, but those are too expensive. The really special places we're visiting today are the Bib Gourmands. They have the same insane quality as the stars, but nowhere near the cost. Looks like we've made it to our first place.
We're at Potluck Club on the outskirts of Chinatown, and the Michelin Guide says some good stuff. Chrystie Street wins big with this high-energy Chinese restaurant that is always down to have a good time. The stylish room leans on a Hong Kong cinema motif with posters and stills from famous flicks. This place already looks like a vibe. I feel like we're about to go on a date to a movie theater. Corey, take us through this place.
Welcome to Potluck Club. Right when you get in, we wanted you to kind of be immersed in our culture. This is our host stand. Telephone booths look like this in Chinatown, so we kind of replicated that. This is our movie feature wall. Growing up as kids, we didn't really go to Hong Kong till we were kind of adults. So everything we learned about our culture was through movies. This is actually my favorite. This is called the God of Cookery. It kind of comes into play here because we do have a restaurant. Open kitchen. We wanted people to be able to see how everything gets made. And then we do have a super secret Easter egg in this restaurant.
Okay.
This is the hidden people.
You know what? I'm not gonna tell you what I just saw. You have to come to the restaurant to see for yourself.
I started this with 4 of my other friends, all born and raised in Chinatown. Chef Zan Chen, he's been working in kitchens all his life. He's worked in Italian kitchens, French kitchens, Mediterranean kitchens, but never Chinese food. Our grandparents, our parents, and even like the OGs from the community, in the beginning they're like, this is not Chinese food, guys. Our menu is a little bit shorter compared to like a Chinese menu that literally has like 250 items. It's just a little bit different, we want to represent kids that grew up in Chinatown in the 80s and 90s and who we are now.
I mean, I see everything you said through the decorations, but what about through the food?
We say this is Cantonese American food, but through the lens of Chef Zan, who was influenced by almost every culture in this melting pot of the city, right? And that's what he kind of puts on the table.
What are your favorite things on the menu? What are the best sellers?
My favorite thing on the menu, chicken and biscuits. It's such an American item, and Chef did it with Cantonese flavor, so that's what I truly love about it. Also, an absolute hitter on the menu is the oyster mushroom rice rolls with steak.
Right now I'm making the jellyfish tiger salad, long cut scallion, Chinese celery, cilantro. This is just marinated jellyfish. We're putting a little bit of lemon zest into this, and then this is more of the vinaigrette that we use to marinate. So it's the sesame seeds. Traditionally, these rice noodle rolls are with like peanut butter sauce and fish balls.
Yep.
I thought it would be fun to instead use this as the beef chow fun base. We'll add a little bit of steak. This is some roasted oyster mushrooms and some asparagus. Dressed it with a little bit of oyster sauce and a little bit of sweet soy sauce. Garlic chives that we're gonna add in towards the end. Toss, toss, toss to incorporate. All right.
They call this place Potluck Club, and I feel like that's exactly what we have in front of us right now.
And I'm ready to go.
I have the pork pot sticker. She has the vegetarian. You can see the chili sauce coming out. This thing's packed with flavor.
I could go vegetarian. You give me this every day.
This is one of the more traditional things on the menu. I want to try the jellyfish tiger salad. I've never tried jellyfish. You?
This is my first time, so I'm super excited.
All right, let's rock on this.
I can't even describe it, but I love it.
I wasn't sure what to expect with the jellyfish. They cover it with so many different sauces that something that's normally a bit bland can actually pack a bit of a punch. I didn't even know that was a delicacy, to be honest with you, before I came here.
Yeah, you have to try it.
We have a contender for surprise dish of the restaurant. Chicken and biscuits, not on my bingo card for a Cantonese restaurant. It's double fried. And we got the biscuit, we got the pickled jalapeno on top. You're salivating.
Excited.
That is so crispy.
It's so crispy outside, but it's still super juicy inside.
I need to know what this biscuit tastes like with a little bit of the plum jam. Scallion biscuit, wow.
I need this for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving would be way less boring with some scallion biscuits and chili plum jam. You're loving that jam there. Tell us what a business like this means to you as an immigrant and seeing like the changes in Mexican food in the US.
Well, maybe I was too hard on Mexican food in the US. I was very like negative about it. Like, this is not Mexican, we don't do it like this. But then after hearing his story, it makes me realize that it's part of the food like to evolve because it's getting mixed with another culture. So it makes me look at it in a different perspective.
That's what you come to a restaurant like this for. You come to try something different. And so far, this has been very tasty.
Amazing.
All right, tiger shrimp with candied walnuts.
Oh, smell it.
Ah, that's nice.
Oh, it smells so nice. And it tastes even better.
That is the most interesting shrimp I've had in a really long time. Calabrian chili oil. A lot of people like to put that on pizza. Seeing that fusion here. Rice roll noodles, and I have a little steak on top. This is like the perfect little piece. Oh.
It was. Oh my goodness.
Nice spongy texture.
Oh my
Lots
God.
of flavor.
The steak.
The steak isn't even standard. That's just like an addition they gave us, but the rice roll noodle stands by itself. All right, crispy drunken chicken. Look how tender this is.
Qué rico. Oh my God. It's one of the most delicious chicken I ever had.
I think they've elevated the game a little bit. I love this. Come with a big group and order a little bit of everything.
I'm still processing what just happened.
You heard the word Michelin a lot of times, and you think it's some stuffy place where you gotta dress up, and here people are casual, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I can be just myself. Love it.
The surprise dish of the restaurant is gonna be the fried chicken with biscuit, because that's not something that I saw coming from a Cantonese restaurant.
I know you might be like, it's just fried chicken. No, you have to try that fried chicken.
1 to a 10, what are you going with?
10. I loved it.
I'm gonna go with 9.2. That's gonna be tough to beat.
Adriana joined me on a short walk over to 8282, perhaps the trendiest Michelin spot in the video.
Let's see what Michelin has to say. There's a first time for everything at this rambunctious little restaurant on the Lower East Side. The team works with a solid foundation of Korean flavors and from there, springboards it into uncharted waters. Creative, bold dishes, all of which beg to be shared, run up and down this menu. The name 828 also refers to Korea's country code, +82.
Hi, my name is Jiyoung Kim. I'm the co-owner of 8282.
Tell us the story of how this restaurant came to be.
Yeah, so during COVID, my boyfriend at the time, now husband, had a Japanese sushi restaurant in East Village that closed, unfortunately. And we're both Korean, and this was a time when Squid Games was very popular with all of the Korean culture. I told him, hey, like New York is ready for a modern Korean food that doesn't have to be fine dining.
What's the concept behind the food here?
If our food is evoking a certain memory from you, whether you are or you aren't Korean, we did our job right. And chef is French trained, also he loves Peruvian food, obviously we're at a Japanese restaurant, so a lot of the flavors come from what New Yorkers would recognize, right? Kind of a global palette.
What are some of the most popular dishes on the menu?
I would say our Korean KFC. We have pickled red peppers, that's spicy, a little bit acidic. Our 8282 steak, we use hanger steak that's marinated, obviously cooked to perfection, and then we have different sides, a sweet potato puree and a Brussels sprout. So, and then the takgalbi kimchi bob, it has kimchi, it has gochujang. It's a very flavorful dish. A lot of Koreans, when they're visiting New York, this is kind of like they're getting their fix.
Thank you, cheers.
Thank you.
This is kind of a trending rice cake with a lot of cheese because Koreans love cheese, but it's not a traditional tteokbokki, right?
I'm excited.
Look at that rice cake. Looks like pasta a little bit, no? Like penne, he said. Right?
Spanish, that sounds so wrong.
Don't Google Translate that.
I'm an adult.
It's like just hot enough, just spicy enough.
And cheesy. Spicy. It's so good. I love the sauce.
Soy sauce, the first thing that hits me, man. What a flavor.
And the chicken is super tender.
I can see why this is a bestseller here.
This is our soy marinated Korean style steak.
Oh, my mouth is watering already.
Down the hatch. I'm actually at a loss for words right now. I like what they say on their t-shirts. You're not your typical Korean. Like, that is such an amazing steak right there.
I'm enjoying every bite.
This is only $28. That's a heck of a value.
This is our takgalbi kimchimbap. There's a bed of kimchi, rice, gochujang marinated chicken, scallions, seaweed crumbs, pearl leaves, the bed of mozzarella cheese, and voila. Enjoy!
Thank you. I have not had a dish today that I have not loved here. It's hard with marinated chicken and kimchi rice to go wrong, and the mozzarella cheese baked in. Very good combo.
Love it.
What's it like running a restaurant with your husband?
How is it like filming with your wife?
We don't do it very often, but when we do it, I do like to remind everybody that if you like New York City content, she has an amazing store of artwork dedicated to New York City. I'm gonna put a QR code to it right here somewhere. Check out her store, perfect for Christmas gifts. And now back to you.
No, it's great. It's tight. It's tight. Cool.
What kind of vibe would you say 8282 is?
I think everyone fits here, and that's something I like about these places that you are showing. That you can be yourself and come and enjoy these Michelin places.
I think this should be the ultimate spot to go to before going out in the Lower East Side or Lower Manhattan. Start a fun night here.
Uh-oh, soju with beer.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty simple.
Alright, this is a Korean roll. If you don't drink this in one gulp, it's actually bad sex, but I'm gonna say bad luck.
You can say bad sex.
Bad sex. For 5 years. Second baby.
Oh man, I'm gonna regret that one tomorrow.
I think in all my years of making YouTube videos, I've never had an owner just sit and drink with us for 2 hours like that. It is time for the surprise dish of the restaurant. What do you got?
Of course, the steak.
8282 steak. What are you giving it 1 to 10?
11.
Oh!
That's awesome, guys.
I don't even know if that's legal. We don't have rules with this thing. Actually, for the value, 9.5. That's gonna be tough to beat today.
Well, the bar is set pretty high with 2 spots ranking over 9 on the surprise dish score. Can this next place keep up?
Hey, we're at Agi's counter in Crown Heights. Let's see what Michelin had to say about this. You have room for one more dish, right? Chef Jeremy Salomon takes inspiration and the restaurant's name from his Hungarian grandmother for a delightfully casual but fine-tuned effort. Hey, what are you doing with my camera guy? Just kidding, everyone. This is my twin brother, Alan. He's gonna be making a little cameo at Agi's. Also, check out his YouTube channel. Just started one.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Solomon, and I'm the owner of Agi's Counter. My restaurant's inspired by Hungarian and Eastern European cuisine. My grandmother, who's Agi, is from Budapest, and she moved to Queens, New York in 1956, and she's still alive today. Our restaurant is an all-day diner. We're by no means a traditional or authentic Hungarian restaurant. We're inspired by Eastern European cuisines. It's really through the lens of a second-generation American Hungarian. The tuna melt is not Hungarian, although we get asked that a lot. It goes on our house-made potato Pullman bread. We shred the tuna and it gets mixed with pickled peppers and celery and mayo, served with a really delicious mustard and the Agi's Counter slaw. The caraway Caesar is one of my favorites. It's made with bitter leaves such as radicchio, finished with a Caesar dressing that's loaded with anchovy and toasted crushed caraway, and finished with grana padano cheese. And the chicken liver mousse, yeah. My grandmother used to make it with Philadelphia cream cheese, so I'm doing the same thing here. Lots of onions, port wine, and it's finished with a cherry agrodolce.
We continue the Michelin quest with Adriana, and you are a huge fan of cafes. What do you think of the vibe here?
Oh, it's really cozy. All the vibe here is amazing.
Adriana said that she wanted the tuna melt.
I'm so excited.
Now this is a confit tuna melt, so it was grilled in its own fat. I think you have this expectation of what a tuna melt should taste like at a diner, and this is just elevating it way higher.
I love the perfect crunchiness of the bread, and it's super soft in the middle and delicious. Okay. Thank you.
I have not seen a chef this excited about a salad on the menu in a really long time. Oh, it smells great. It's definitely not boring, I'll tell you that.
From the presentation to the taste, it's super unique.
Have you ever heard of a restaurant opened after somebody's grandma? It's like one of the sweetest things I've ever heard. And I feel very connected to it because his grandmother was a Holocaust survivor from Hungary. My grandmother was a Holocaust survivor from Hungary as well. And I know how important food is to the culture. Speaking of the culture, he said that this dish right here, the chicken liver mousse, was directly inspired by his grandma. Wow. It hits a lot of different sweet and savory notes, and it's like almost on a French toast. I didn't think I would like this, but I actually do. Green deviled eggs with hot sauce and anchovy on top. It's good. It's a very interesting mix, eating it with the fish. It's like it's an interesting blend. I'm liking it. He's trying to steal my channel again. Very curious about this. Hot sauce, the egg, the anchovy, it all works, he's right. This is a little appetizer that packs a serious punch. It's that time, we're gonna rank the surprise dish of the meal. What are you going for here?
I'm gonna give it tuna melt. It's one of my favorite things to get. So I'm definitely gonna give him a 9.
I'm gonna give it 8.2. A place like Augie's, this is a neighborhood staple. This just shows you what's possible with the Gourmand Bibs and why you have to visit these restaurants.
We got a new co-host, Ben from the Bing Buzz, and a new country, our neighbors up north.
We're at Mile End in Brooklyn. This is what the Michelin Guide said. Borum Hill's most bodacious deli serves up killer smoked meats among other treats whose caloric content rivals a week's worth of eating. This is Montreal Jewish fare, the stuff comfort food dreams are made of. I'm getting hungry just hearing that. Let's get in there. Getting those old school Jewish deli vibes already.
Very cool, very Canadian.
Keyword Canadian. We'll do the Montreal smoked meat for sure, the large one, a Reuben, the General Tso poutine. We'll also do the potato latkes.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Now, for those who aren't familiar with what Montreal smoked meat is made from the whole entire brisket, fatty and lean part. They even smoke it in-house for about 8 hours. Dude, I don't even know where to begin with this.
To warm up our jaws.
All right, here we go. Nice smoky flavor. Like,
It's neater than expected. The salt level is really good, actually.
it's only been a bite, but I'm impressed how this thing's holding together. Yours, on the other hand, I don't know. You can just dunk that in mustard, though.
That's exactly what I'm
Look
doing.
at this power play move here.
It's a lot more toned down compared to a New York deli sandwich. Like if I eat at a Cat's Deli sandwich, I need a day to recover.
Oh, yes. We've got the Reuben. We've got corned beef with sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, Russian dressing, stacked between pumpernickel bread.
Presentation on point.
Let's see how it tastes. You don't just taste the meat. I'm also tasting that melted Swiss and the sauerkraut and the Russian dressing.
I think the sauerkraut gives an extra texture. I almost like this one more than the other one.
This is just more of like a bolder New York style flavor. You know what's amazing about a spot like this? All you hear about are old school Jewish delis closing. How often do you hear about a new one opening up? Mile End has gotten a lot of viral attention for their Christmas menu. Now, anyone who doesn't know, it is very common on Christmas for Jews to eat Chinese food. So what better way to combine the best of the Jewish world and the Chinese world and the Montreal Canadian world than General Tso's chicken, okay? So instead of the gravy, it's General Tso's sauce, chicken, and mayo.
I honestly don't know how I feel about this. And as a Chinese American, I actually don't eat General Tso chicken a lot. Would you have gotten this if I wasn't here, John?
If it was Christmas, I would have, yes. I forgot to mention, there's cheese curds in here as well.
Wow.
This could be the only place on earth that serves General Tso's poutine. We don't know, but I'm just assuming.
It wouldn't be in a Chinese restaurant, so safe to say.
All right, let's go for it. That is surprisingly amazing. That is a flavor combo that I didn't see coming.
That's a good dish. On a really lazy day, I could see myself just downing a whole plate of this by myself.
This could be like the new late night food in New York.
Yeah. It is a Jewish deli, but the General Tso chicken is on point. It's like gourmet quality chicken, actually.
It's definitely elevated. One of the most Jewish foods you can order. Potato latke. We've got applesauce, we've got sour cream, we've got a little appetite left. Interesting. I would say this is probably like the most traditional of all the foods we've had so far, that most reminded me of what like I would eat during a Jewish holiday.
Pretty good.
Chrystie, yeah? I love this because normally on the channel, I'm with Ben and his lovely wife Ming. We do a lot of Chinese food together. So for you to check out a little bit of my culture,
It's my honor. I just don't have anything to compare it to.
first time for everything.
Exactly.
The surprise dish at Mile End. What do you got?
The Chinese-Jewish fusion dish.
I'm gonna agree. 1 to 10. What are you giving it?
7.9.
I'm gonna give it 7.7. It surprised me a heck of a lot.
As soon as that camera's off, I'm gonna pig out on this.
Oh yes. Are you surprised that a Jewish deli is on the Michelin list?
Honestly, I am, and a Canadian Jewish deli. I'm just glad to see that Canada is contributing to the ever-growing New York food scene.
With 8282 Steak still leading on the surprise dish chart, will our next spot have any tricks up their sleeve?
Ruffian is tiny but mighty. Global themes dominate their a la carte and 4-course tasting menus that change every quarter. A wine bar on the list. I'm really intrigued by this.
This is fancy.
Hi, I'm Patrick Corneau, owner of Ruffian.
How did this beautiful bar restaurant come to be?
It opened now almost 10 years ago. Myself and some of my friends have been working originally at the restaurant Tabla, and we were looking to do a restaurant or something like that, and ultimately settled upon doing a wine bar. But we had very big aspirations, so we still had full food menu, challenging ourselves to cook ambitious food that would be appropriate to be a nice setup for wine. We were doing orange wines and Eastern European wines, I think well before they were fashionable. We cook mostly vegetarian dishes, even though we're focused on Eastern European cuisine that is usually very meat heavy.
What are some of the best sellers for food on your menu?
We change the menu a lot. We always have a khachapuri, like Georgian style cheese. We do kind of a focus each season on a different culture. The Caucasus in winter, Balkans in spring, the East Mediterranean in summer, and we do the Austro-Hungarian Empire in fall.
What has it meant to you and the staff in the restaurant to be recognized by Michelin so many years in a row?
Yeah, it was surprising when it first happened because it was in the middle of COVID. We started the year serving food from our front door and wine in paper cups. To now have gotten it multiple years in a row since, I think we all take a lot of pride in. To have a bib gourmand, maybe as opposed to a Michelin star. When I'm going out to eat, I always think that means it's going to be maybe a bit more adventurous.
Definitely.
And in a lot of ways means more to have that.
How many bottles do you have?
10,000 bottles? I don't know.
10,000 bottles in here.
Something like that. This is our charred caraflax cabbage goulash with whipped potatoes. Lighter, more elegant version of the classic Hungarian dish. And it allows us to pull out the blowtorch, which is always fun.
We have non-alcoholic wine. You do not have to drink to drink.
It is interesting for me to look at a menu and see that they mark if something is not vegetarian rather than if it's vegetarian.
It's like a little reverse there.
So you're gonna go for the Altenburg Kriek Below Frankish Red, and I have the Mash Pit Orange. I can feel those forward notes, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't drink wine very often.
I'm more of a beer guy, but this is actually pretty smooth.
We saw it getting made, the vegetarian goulash, and it's with a roasted caraflex cabbage. Since the menu is seasonal, they told us we're the first people to try this. The sauce has a lot of flavor, a lot of spices going on.
Really crunchy. It's not a texture you would get in a meat dish.
I'm enjoying this a lot. Increasing in popularity a lot in New York is khachapuri, which is a well-known dish from Georgia. So it's a cheese bread. This has some egg yolk, mushroom, potato, apple butter, ajika. A lot of things going on here.
This is a good-looking piece of dish.
It's like my vegetarian Georgian grandma made this for me. This feeds my soul.
And there's actually a lot of different flavors in there.
They gave us a bit of a tasting menu, but they have a separate tasting menu. 4 courses for $60. Wine would be an extra $55.
Just 2 dudes sipping on wine on a Tuesday afternoon without their wives.
Forget going to a bar to watch football. Going to wine bars for Georgian food, vegetarian stuff. We have the cabbage and parsnip dumplings.
The presentation is stunning.
Okay, let's do it. It's just the kind of food you have to savor, all the flavors and textures and spices that are going on.
It has a subtle sweetness to it. I think with the wine will go really well.
I don't think that Eastern European food is necessarily as popular around the country as it is in the New York area.
Especially in the East Village. And I can see why this place is doing well. The wine is good, the food is delicate, it's a good vibe overall.
Spots like this, I think, have given a lot of other wine bars some life, showing that you can have a small but a really potent menu paired with wine, and people will come. Of the surprises from a very surprising, impressive spot like Ruffian, what would you say was the one dish?
This is tough, but I'm gonna go with the roasted caraflex.
I don't know, man. The khachapuri really blew me away.
I agree with you on that, but that was like the best cabbage I ever had in my life.
Rock, paper, scissors, best of one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom! Cabbage it is. I give it a 7.5. 6.458.
I'm gonna give it 7.3. I liked it a lot.
Definitely worth trying.
We brought alongside an extra co-host, Ben's wife, Ming from the Bing Buzz, and I was extra curious about this sleek sushi spot.
We're at Domo Domo. Let's see what Michelin's got to say. Sushi is plentiful in New York, of course, but this kitchen ups the ante of their hand rolls with top-notch nori, rice, and fish. It's not just about sushi here, though. All right, let's see what it is about.
I am super excited to eat here tonight.
So Domo Domo is known as being one of the first hand roll bars in New York. What are we gonna order tonight?
We're gonna get the Domokatsu tonight, which is their signature course. So we have sushi and a lot of hot and cold dishes too. This is the seasonal oysters, and this is the spicy tuna cone. It's like a little ice cream cone.
They took their time with this.
Yes, they
There was
did.
a lot of effort that went into the presentation here.
It's like sour and sweet at the same time.
What she said. I'm not somebody that eats oysters very often. When I do, I want them like this. We almost forgot our ice cream cone.
Ice cream. That's cute.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You can immediately tell the great sashimi from the Pretenders. Just one bite. What's inside of this?
Spicy mayo sauce.
Yeah,
This was definitely surprising.
it could be. It's a candidate.
Yeah, it is.
We've got the grilled shrimp with apple, so that's ginger sweet chili, cinnamon apple, and ricotta. Let's try it.
Let's go. The texture gets better with every bite, surprisingly. All the ingredients are listed in the name. You actually taste everything.
I like the spices.
Yeah.
I like the flavor profile. What is it?
Next we have Wagyu Carpaccio with American Wagyu shimeji mushroom with yuzu sesame sauce.
We're doing raw fish. We're also doing raw meat as well.
This yuzu sesame sauce is good.
I've actually never had Wagyu raw like that before. Also, we originally thought that the plate was made of ice. It's actually crystal. We've got the miso black cod here with the ubacha puree, black lime, and dill. This is really good, actually. It's very autumn tasting.
So soft and buttery.
Honestly, I always think of cod as kind of a boring fish to eat, but this is getting me excited. Thank you. I am the type of person that usually orders like the cheap lunch sushi deals off DoorDash. This is way above my pay grade and I'm not complaining at all. Yeah, this is definitely elevating my taste buds here.
Yum. So far the sushi pieces are very fresh, very soft.
This isn't a surprise. Like I was expecting this to be as good as it is.
It better be good.
This really, really impressed me a lot. We got a variety of hand rolls, and this is what Domo Domo is known for. So this is like the star of the show. Which one do you have?
I have the uni wagyu hand roll.
I got the lobster straight up. Let's do it. We're all nodding our heads. We don't want to talk. That is amazing. I really love the textures.
I like the uni as an ingredient too because of the varying temperatures as well.
That first bite was good. They nailed the hand roll for sure.
That wasn't a Michelin babe experience. That was a Michelin 1, 2, 3 star right there. Just when you thought we saw everything, we get this dessert spread.
We got the hojicha tiramisu, the matcha cheesecake, the black sesame panna cotta, and the lemon sorbet.
An advanced move. Get 4 desserts for 4 people.
Yes. Can you try every single one?
Desserts could be a surprise ranking candidate coming up. I don't know.
There's many good choices here. Flavors are strong.
Sweet sour, yeah.
Really refreshing. This is a black sesame panna cotta.
What's a panna cotta? Good question. If we don't know, it must be good. Different.
It's like a pudding.
Like a paste, paste, that's the word. You know what a lot of people watching this must be thinking? Is this enough food for a tasting menu?
First 4 courses came out, I'm like, I am still hungry. When all the sushi came out, I was like, all right, I think I'll be full by the end.
Well-deserved Michelin bib status.
And there is not an empty seat in the house right now. Tough to do. Okay, there's one empty table. We're gonna ignore that one.
Don't look at that one.
All right, it's that time. Surprise dish of the meal. Ming, we'll start with you.
Definitely the miso black cod.
It's hard. I'll go with the desserts. I think they nailed it, super detail-oriented.
I'm gonna agree with Ming. I thought the miso black cod, especially with that puree, was really impressive. That was my surprise dish, so we have majority here. Now we're gonna vote 1 to 10. What did you think of the miso black cod?
I'm gonna say like a 9 or 8.5.
8.457.
8.2, big surprise. And honestly, this whole meal was super impressive.
Agree.
So good.
And the final tallies are in. The surprise dish winner, 8282 steak. That's right, they went over a 10. I didn't even know that was possible, but who cares? Potluck's fried chicken and biscuit at 9.6, the tuna melt from Augie's counter at 8.6, the miso black cod from Domo Domo 8.4, General Tso's poutine from Mile End 7.8, and Ruffian's cabbage goulash rounding it out at 7.4. Every surprise dish hit the spot.
Michelin meals for a reasonable price is amazing, but in this video, I show you the 15 best budget bites in New York. Watch this next.